Hi, this is Rich Lavens of Watlow, and today we're going to be working with an EPC3000 series controller. This is the EPC3004, and it also comes in an 8th DIN, which is the EPC3008, and a 16th DIN, which is the EPC3016. So my question today was, how do I change a sensor input type in the field? In this case, the gentleman had a type K thermocouple he wanted to use, but the instrument was set up for a type J. So here's how we do that. And it's the same procedure regardless of the size of the instrument. So the 3016, the 3008, 3004, same procedure. So first we have our page key, our enter key, and then the down and up arrows make parameter changes. So we initially have to log into the configuration level. So we're going to hold that page key down, and we're going to hold it until it goes to level 3. When you're in level 3, we're going to hit our enter key, and the code for level 3 is 0003. So let's hit the enter, 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 and the last digit will make a 3 and enter. So we're in level 3. We'll wait for that to reset and go back to the home screen. And now we're going to do the same thing, except this time we're going to hold that page key down, and when we see level 3, we're going to quickly up arrow and go to config, and when we're in config, we're going to enter 0004. So enter, 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 4, enter. Now we're in the configuration level. So we need to find the AI, which is the analog input parameter. Should just be one button push, so there's AI. If you happen to pass that, instead of going all the way back around, we can hold the page key and hit the up arrow. It backs us up. Whoop, missed it. So back there. So just a shortcut for you. So once we're in AI, we're going to hit the enter key. This particular unit has 2 analog inputs, so 1 and 2. So we're going to set up type 1 for the thermocouple, and then I'm going to show you another one on type 2. So again, we're in 1, hit enter. This tells you what the sensor type is. So this is already set up for a thermocouple, but you could see millivolts or volts or milliamps, RTDs. So again, thermocouple, enter. There's a type K. So this one's set up correctly. By using the up-down arrow keys, you'll see all the different types of sensor inputs. So again, enter for type K. So this is in temperature units, enter. This is your decimal point. Again, by using the up-down arrow keys, you can move the decimal point around. There's a bunch of other parameters in here, but this will be the last one I show you. So this is your high range. So what is your display of the instrument going to read up to? In this case, it's 500. But we can change that by using the up-down arrow keys. So let's just run this up a little bit. The longer you hold the button, the faster the numbers increase. So we're just going to make this 520. So this instrument will read up to 520 degrees on the high end. On the low end, 0, but again, you can change that by using up-down. This is our process value upset in case you're doing some field calibrations, and the rest of these parameters I'm not going to go through right now. So anyway, we've got this set up for a type K thermocouple, 0 to 520 degrees. So I'm going to hit the page key again, one more time, so we're back up to the analog input. We're going to hit enter. There's the first input. This is the second input. You, again, choose between them with the up-down. Now, not all instruments have 2 inputs, so this is only applicable if you spec'd it out with 2. So this is the second input. This one I just wanted to show you. Again, we have the same selections, so forth. But for a milliamp input, you do require something. So we're going to have milliamp, linear input. The units, we're just going to set up for PSI, so pressure, just for example. Enter. There's our same decimal point. Now, this is your electrical input signal. So Normally these things are scalable between 0 and 20 milliamp. Most applications are scaled 4 to 20. So 20 milliamp input, we're going to leave it. 4 milliamp is our low. And again, I can run that down to 0 if I want, but most applications in industry are 4 to 20. So 4 to 20. Now, this is the one I wanted to show you. We do need to use a shunt resistor if we're using a 4 to 20 milliamp or 0 to 20 milliamp input. So I'm wired to number 2, but if you look, there's a small shunt resistor. We provide a 2.49 ohm shunt as a default. It should come in the box. So you would just put that across your input terminals, and then your wires would run in on either side of that. If you're using something other than 2.49 ohm, you can change it to what the value of your resistor is, but this is the default. And then normally 4 to 20 milliamps, you don't want it to display 4 to 20. So say this is a pressure and our pressure range is 100 psi. So we're going to run that up to 100. So on the high range, when it's at 20 milliamp, it will display 100. When it's 4 milliamp, probably don't want it at 4, so we're just going to run that down to 0. And enter. Again, our process value offset if you want to change that just a little bit. And again, I'm not going to run through the rest of these. So the last thing I need to do is you can hit the page key, but normally you're just going to hold the page key down. And when it goes back to level 1, we'll just let it sit there, or we can hit enter. It's going to reboot the instrument and go back to operator mode. So I'm going to show you how to do this in iTools as well. It's probably easier in iTools, but this can be done in the field. So let's pop over there. Okay, we're over at the iTools Engineering Studio, and I'm connecting via an Ethernet cable, but you can also connect via the CPI clip if you'd like. So I'm going to hit the Add button. There's my instrument. We're going to hit OK and let it synchronize. So up here, you can see the 2 little arrows that were there momentarily. Those will pop away. And as soon as you see the little cube representing the controller, it'll show you the name of the controller, EPC3000. First, we're going to enter the access mode. And when you're connected with the CPI clip, it'll just go to the access mode. If you're connected with an Ethernet cable, you'll have to enter the password for the instrument. Yours will differ from mine, I'm sure. So we're in access. Now, access in iTools is exactly the same as configuration level if you're going through the buttons of the instrument. I'm going to hit the Parameter Explorer button right here, and you'll see all these folders off to the side. I want to go to the AI. So if I hit the down arrow, there are my 2 inputs. Again, this one has 2 inputs. Yours may or may not, depending on how you ordered it. So once I find the AI folder, it's very similar to the button pushes, right? There's the AI folder. I want to go to input number 1. So I click on input number 1, and there's all those parameters I set up through the button. So thermocouple, millivolt, volt, milliamps, RTDs. Mine has a zirconia chip in it, or zirconia input in it. Yours may or may not. So we're going to leave it in thermocouple. There is my different types of thermocouple inputs. We're going to leave it at K. There's my decimal point. The input low limit and high limit right here. We set that up earlier. So there's our range high and our range low. Now here, again, much easier to change it in iTools than hold the button and let it run up and down. So we can change it to 600 very quickly. And then the rest of the parameters I'm not going to go into right now. So there's our type K, now set up for 0 to 600 degrees. Now we're going to go to the second input. So click over here. It's set up for milliamp. It's a linear input. It's set up for PSI. electrical reading 20 on the high side, electrical reading low on the low side. There's that shunt resistor. Now here, again, this is the electrical, so 20 milliamps equals 100 psi. Again, easy to set up here in iTools without having to hold those buttons. So now I just change that from 20 equals 500 on the display, 4 equals 0 on the display. Here's my process value offset, and the rest of the stuff I'm not going into. So again, really, really easy to set that up in iTools. If you want to go through the front of the instrument, obviously we've done it, so it's perfectly fine. And that is really it. So I hope you find this video helpful, but if there are any questions, please reach out to us and let us know. Thank you so much.